Cowabunga, Booyakasha, and Google, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Voice Cast. We are here to look at your favorite animated characters, figure out who played them the best, the worst, and the weirdest, and allow you to vote on them yourselves as soon as we get a website running. I'm Justin, and with me as always is Will.
Goongala! How's it going, potty people?
How's it Goongala going?
No. Alright, so, this week, we'll be covering Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as the second half, or as the second quarter of our TMNT month.
Will, who is Michelangelo?
Michelangelo, he's a party dude. The big M on his belt buckle and the most outlandish color, so to say, of the Turtles, with his bright orange headband that covers his eyes. Where's the forehead? But yeah, Michelangelo, the goofball of the group. The one with the most potential and the outward thinker. The one who always thinks outside the box and does normally comedic things as a means of getting advantage. Much to the betrayal of his original depiction, where he was actually in the original Mirage comics, he was one of the better fighters. Normally paired up with Raphael, as they had a competition going on between them constantly.
I can still see that spirit, though in plenty of other renditions.
Like, the way Leonardo was in the 2003 cartoon, Michelangelo was to Raphael, always trying to one-up and egg him on to do better, while also being kind of a bit of a pranksterous dick. So, let's start with the first ever media depiction of him, where he was voiced by Townsend Coleman.
Now that's what I call a serious pizza!
Townsend Coleman, also from the same series, voiced Master Splinter, Shredder, Krang, Rat King, Razor, and Miyamoto Usagi, which is from a side comic, which also deals with the Turtles.
Although Splinter, Shredder, and Krang, Townsend Coleman was all doing replacements for them, where he is extremely worse off compared to the other ones.
Yeah. Admittedly.
And for Miyamoto Usagi, I don't know. I know that, this character got a spin-off where, he was voiced by Jim Cummings, and I want to see that universe where that came to be, you know?
I hear those comics are actually pretty good, too.
Yeah. But then out of the series, we also have the main character of the series, The Tick, where he's this big, buff idiot, and
Riot from
Waldo
Gem.
I was going with Waldo from the Where's Waldo cartoon.
So overall, yeah, pretty good start. Townsend Coleman is a very, very well-established actor. Lots of roles, very defining voice, despite his name not being thrown around so much. Kind of a shame.
You say that he's a lot, but, I don't recognize a lot of the stuff he does. He's mainly a B or C tier voice actor as far as I can tell. He's gotten some, lead stuff. Getting Michelangelo to start off for 10 seasons, that's incredible. But besides that, I don't think he's done a lot.
While mainly being a side character, he is notable amongst his cast, so to say. Also, The Tick went along for quite a few seasons.
Yeah, I know. But besides those, there's not much that I can say that, Townsend Coleman. This is a series where Rob Paulsen voiced Raphael, and, you talk to any voice actor aficionados like ourselves, it's Rob Paulsen, you love Cam Clark. Alright, but Townsend, I don't know.
He's also got a pretty bizarre name, so that kind of makes him memorable.
Is that, an official name that you can have, Townsend?
Well, this is unexpected, so let me look that up real quick.
While you're doing that, I wanted to talk about the voice of Michelangelo, where he has a more deeper voice compared to all the other entries that we're going to be talking about, which makes it sound less like a surfer that Michelangelo is known for, and more it's just hey, I'm a frat bro, dude. And it just really interests me that he went with that direction, because this is a guy who defined the voice of a character. He's the first guy to do it. So to have a party-based turtle, there must have been a decent amount of time to think to himself, like, how the hell am I going to voice this thing? I mean, probably he just knew a guy in college, or like maybe this was just the guy
surfer
who he
dude.
was. Yeah, I think of it more as a frat bro, though.
Yeah. Townsend, transferred use of the surname meaning dweller at the Townsend from Middle English town, village, hamlet, or stead, plus end. So essentially his name is Hamlet.
Oh, well.
The man has 2 last names for first name. Yeah.
Also,
he was even born Townsend Putnam Coleman III.
Putnam, man, oh god, he must have gotten beat a lot in high school.
I believe it.
You think he got the voice of Michelangelo from the frat bros who like beat him up in college?
That's kind of mean.
I know. I'm sorry, man.
Stop being mean to Townsend.
I'm sorry, Townsend.
A really good establishment for the beginning of Michelangelo's long career.
Yeah, clearly the most emotional turtle. Will, I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
If someone forgets your birthday, how do you feel?
Someone forgets my birthday? I kind of expect it. I'm not really that memorable of a person. Really, if it wasn't for Facebook, I'd get like 5, not including family, people saying happy birthday.
That's what I thought, because one of the episodes that I watched was Michelangelo like thinks that everyone forgot his birthday. Turns out they were just like pranking him so that like it would be more surprise party. Michelangelo gets sad and runs away, which honestly I don't care.
I don't know, as a teenager with such small family and friends, I would be pretty upset too. Especially because in that depiction, Mikey's a lot kiddish than the rest.
Oh yeah, like I said, he's the most emotional one of them. He cares for animals more. Terrible tasting pizza, though.
Yeah, that's all 4 of them. Then again, they're turtles.
I watched that AVGN video again where they all try the pizza. Still a great video. I'm gonna have to try pepperoni and mushrooms sometime, though.
Oh, pepperoni and marsh. I actually have a friend who owns the TMNT Pizza Cookbook. Once we get her schedule out, I'm gonna see what we can do there.
That sounded like a fun bonus episode. By the way, now that I've watched a little bit more of the 87 version, I really am starting to like understand it in a way. Like, this show is very self-aware.
Yeah.
Like the fourth wall breaks or whatever, but like I watched an episode where there's this fucking pool full of like sharks that just like pulls out of the floor or in a warehouse, and Mikey's just like, why do all warehouses have trapdoors? This is fun. I like this.
They take it on chin too. They really like flex that they know what they're doing, and that's part of the charm. The best part. Because if the turtles are anything, it's charming. Or else they're just wacky zany for the sake of wacky zany, and that doesn't sell well.
Yeah. Like, the meme is that, like, oh, the 87 turtles are more immature. Just like that whole universe in general. Like, the joke is that, like, the 2003 version, the 2012 one, do the crossovers with them, and, like they're like, man, you guys are pathetic. But, like, they're also in on the joke, too, so it makes me feel a lot better about making fun of them.
Yeah, because it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Forever. As much as Raphael and the four Mirage Turtles were ripping, and everyone else except for Mikey from the 2003 were ripping into the 1980s, they took it on the chin, and they were just smugging like, yeah, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're getting to you? Good. That's just that obnoxious, like in the first episode or second episode where April, she gets threatened that she might get fired, and she goes like, I almost lost my job to those stupid turtles, and she goes outside and all 4 of them are fucking dressed up in weird 80s wear, fucking dancing around with a boombox. It's that self-aware, obnoxious humor that really gave the Turtles a good start. Which is, you know, why it would get 10 seasons. Jesus.
Although, these episodes last way too long. every single one I got so bored.
I enjoyed it, but I grew up with it.
They're fine, but it's just like...
Fine! I like the way he said that.
Fine!
Yeah.
But the thing is that, like, these episodes did not need to be 20 minutes long. I would have been a lot better if they were just, like, 10-minute halves.
So that's the 1980s version. Let's move to the movie version.
Go! Move it, will ya? Oh, you let him blow right by you. Can you believe this guy? Come on, don't just ninja kick the damn rabbit. Do something!
I significantly like the live action more than the 1980s so far. Well, then again, I love Robbie Rist, the voice actor. And mainly because he voices one of my favorite Naruto characters. He's Choji.
I was not expecting... Like, I saw that, I was like, holy fuck, this is all that he does. I mean, that's obviously an understatement of what he does, but I do like this rendition. I like Choji, and I do like this rendition of Mikey. Here's the interesting thing to me about this, is that this dude, like, is that Mikey sounds completely different than Townsend's rendition of him, with, like, the more deeper voice. It's a lot more light, more fun-loving and all that.
He sounds like his early teens rather than his later teens.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like he's awkwardly going through puberty.
Yeah, he sounds like the youngest of his brothers, where he is the youngest of his brothers.
So this was a great chance for an actor who probably didn't even know about the Turtles to come in and just, like, see this in a different
Light.
way. Yeah, in a different light. Can you imagine if this movie never existed and all the Michelangelos coming down all has some form of a strangely deep voice in there somewhere?
It would be the randomly deep voice Dan Green gives Leonardo in TMNT Forever.
Yep.
You know, in a cartoon when everyone sounded like this, suddenly this man is sounding straight out of an 80s comic book. It's like, whoa, hey, calm down, jeez, superhero.
Robbie Rist is also the 2012 voice of Mondo Gecko.
Yeah. So he has lasting presence in the show when he's not tied to just Michelangelo.
Yeah, but here's something that I want to say, is that I watched both Mondo Gecko episodes, one from the 87 version and the one from the 2012 version. Did you watch both of those?
I did not.
You might be surprised by this. I think the 87 version beats the 2012 version.
For Mikey?
No, for Mondo Gecko.
Oh. Yeah,
because
I can see it.
Here's the thing.
Really, the recurring villains in the 1980s weren't that good. Minus, the frogs. The frogs were amazing.
Here's the thing, though, is that the 2012 one just has it as, like, this fuck-off one-shot episode where it's like, they meet Mondo Gecko, he's working for one of the villains, and they have a race, whatever. 1987 has this interesting thing where Mondo was also in the ooze where the Turtles were also, where the Turtles were picked up by Master Splinter, and Mondo was picked up by a villain. So he's not inherently evil, he was just
raised that way.
Yeah, so in this strange thing, in this wacky 87 show, we kind of have this message about nature versus nurture, and I was like, where the fuck did this come from? Robbie Rist sounds worse as Mondo Gecko, though, I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, the 87's design is a lot more dated, but at least it doesn't grate on my ears.
I could agree to that.
Yeah.
Plus, Rist is overall just a good, significant voice actor.
Yeah, he's got some good oomph in his voice. And the movie had some good lines, too. Like, I love that scene where they're watching the tortoise and the hare. Mm-hmm. And they're rooting for the turd.
Why doesn't he just roundhouse kick the rabbit?
Or just freaking smashing a dude's head in with cymbals. That was some good shit.
Oh, yeah. And it really played to Mikey being the improv fighter.
Absolutely.
I really like this depiction of Michelangelo better than the 1980s. Overall, because there's more personality than just young teen.
Yeah, there's more that can be worked with since it's not restricted by age.
Yeah. Transitioning to... and now we'll fast forward in time to the 2003, the most notorious and famous Michelangelo by Wayne Grayson.
You think this is bad? You should see us when we have weapons.
I really think this is the most solid.
It has the great balance. It doesn't go too far into being too silly and stupid.
And it has that
just,
surfer bro mentality rather than the frat mentality that we got.
I do feel like this is the official start of Michelangelo voicing like a surfer.
I also really like that he's the one-liner guy.
Yeah, there is some good stuff in there, like
also, he's the other turtle that has that really New York accent, because he's also Joey Wheeler from Duel Monsters. Yeah, Wayne Grayson. Joey Wheeler. Duel Monsters.
Cricket, cricket. Cricket, cricket.
No. No mutant crickets. Turtles eat crickets, actually. It's a part of their diet.
Good, then it's fitting that I'm a cricket. You can just eat me.
Don't give the fans ideas.
Send all your fanfiction to thevoicecats@gmail.com.
Please no.
So, overall, your opinion on Wayne Grayson. Overall.
Yeah. Well, he does a great job. Like, clearly, like, I do agree with you there. But also, I feel like this is the first time that, as TV shows evolve and all that, like, they're allowed to get away with more intelligent stuff. Like, you have the Turtles, you have the 87 version, which is just like a whatever romp. Just, like, random episodes of just, like, weirdness. And movies, there isn't a lot of time to, like, get a lot of development through, like, each character. Here,
which we'll cover in a bit.
Yeah, which I do feel, I mean, there's not much to say, but here, I do feel like that this is the first time that we really get a good look into Mikey's psyche, where it's like, he showed, Mikey's psyche. Like, he shows great potential to try to keep up with the rest of his brothers, but just as he's lazy, he'd rather focus on other things. But, like, when he's, like, properly motivated, he can do great things. When he's in a good mindset in a fight, he can do great. The fight between Michelangelo versus Raph is one of my favorite Mikey moments ever.
The best part is, also, in their fighting styles, the way Mikey uses his nunchucks, and the way Raph uses, and Raph's weapon itself, they both are innately sword catchers or sword breakers, where originally a farming tool meant to poke holes in the ground to plant rice seeds. They were also used as a means of blocking katanas, because with the forked shape, they could catch the blade in one, and with the twist of the wrist, break a person's sword, while also being good punch daggers, as we see Raph use a lot, where he wraps his two weird turtle fingers between them and use them for extra punching to, along with his punch, add a little puncture. While Michelangelo can also use the chains that are connecting his nunchucks to wrap around people's wrists and weapons and pull them away, or just tie them around and just launch them over his back. Both.
I appreciate the explanation, but everything that you just said is not my point.
Well, I was more bringing up a good parallel between them.
Fair enough. Now I feel like the asshole.
While this is a voice actor comparison, we also got to focus on the character, because the character in the end is the main show.
I do agree with you, and I was getting to that.
I'll get to you.
I hope so. We're on the other side of we're on opposite side of the fucking country. I want to hang out with you.
Good. Someone has to.
So we're in agreement.
Someone has to. I'm awfully lonely.
Kill me. But yeah, if Michelangelo calms down, this fight was so good, because Mikey versus Raph, like, at first Mikey's scared that, like, he's gonna lose. But like when he like calms down and realizes, oh, I'm fighting Raph, he just starts like doing what Mikey does best, just like spouting off one-liners, annoying Raph until Raph gets angry and loses focus, and Mikey ends up winning this whole tournament that they're in the middle of.
Yeah, that's Mikey's superpower. The ability to have the opponent play in his court instead of him going to his opponent's court.
Like, the 87 version does have an episode that's called, like, Why Do We Need Mikey? Which really did make me think, oh, fuck, is this going to be interesting stuff? But not really. All the turtles get captured. Michelangelo complains for a bit to Splinter about what
am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly. And Splinter's just like, bitch, just go out there. And
go and save your brothers.
Or I will spank your ass.
I am going to bed.
I'm going to bed. Conclusion, when the chips are down, this Mikey can pick him up.
And tying back
Unlike our next topic, we got a bit of a bump in the road then, where we're going back to the CGI TMNT movie, where Michelangelo is voiced by Mikey Kelly.
You see, every day it's the same thing. Wake up, birthday party gig, say dude a lot, drive home, watch TV, train, rinse, repeat.
Mikey Kelly. Surprisingly, not too bad of a voice for him.
He's not bad, but I'm gonna sound like a dick. He just could be better, you know?
That's just the thing with the whole movie, really. I mean, then again, the guy's most notorious role is Alistair from Beautiful Joe, the original Ratchet voice, and Billy McLemore from Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase.
Like, I hear better surfer voices. I hear it better in Wayne Grayson. I hear better in Greg Cipes, which we're going to go to soon enough. It's just not my favorite, and I'll be honest, whenever I hear him, it's kind of grating at times.
I like the Michelangelo from the 2007, also known as Cowabunga Carl.
The thing
party
though,
turtle.
Also is that there's not enough of him in the movie to really like let that voice shine anyway.
Yeah, this is really the 2007's really just a Raph and Leo movie.
Yeah, and then a bunch of other shit of just like the villains in between.
Raph,
we covered that before.
Raph, Leo, interplanetary, interdimensional Aztec demons from beyond the stars. For some reason, man, they really did not use Dimension X much, did they?
No, but also like it really like that's always what I hear from Turtles fans. It's just like they're like, well, it was good, but this thing from my childhood wasn't in it. This thing, blah blah blah. You know, it's
well,
like
it's not
there's
a matter
so
of
much.
it being from
There
the
is
childhood.
So much.
It's just
there is so much turtle shit in there that you can't feel satisfied with everything. It's like Weird Al coming out on stage and then people shout out, do this song, do that song. There's a huge catalog that you just can't handle. Otherwise, it's a giant clusterfuck.
Not entirely. The Turtles' main threats come down to 4 things. The creatures from Dimension X, the Utroms, the Triceratons, the Purple Dragons, and the Foot Clan, led by first Shredder and then later Karai. That's 4 major establishments.
Yeah, and we had one of those in the movie. We had Karai, but do you honestly expect all of those type of enemies to be in a movie?
I mean, if they're going the approach of intergalactics from beyond the stars, the Utroms, the Triceratons, or any of the Dimension X creatures could have easily been put in.
But they clearly didn't do that.
Yeah, and look how the movie suffered for trying to do something new, but then kind of making it not sound very turtle-like. It would be an okay plot by itself, but it's not a good turtle movie. Really.
Okay, so if you replace these villains with whoever would be more fitting, do you honestly think it'd be a better movie? Because, like, the same writer is going to stick around regardless.
Yeah, I think it would.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Triceratons are very easy to write for, And they do have their complexities with the way they run things, considering their interplanet. They're essentially space Spartans, but Vikings too, because they go around pillaging planets. I mean, the 2003 cartoon did the Triceratons very well. Or, other mutants. Plenty of other mutants they could have used. It's just the whole mysticism behind the intergalactic Aztec-like beings was just really out there for a Turtles plot.
I don't think that anything could be out there for Turtles.
You would be surprised.
I've said this before. The baseline of Turtles is it's strange. That's its greatest strength, is that they could do fucking anything and it would make sense because at the base, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When it all comes down to it, it's the writing that kills anything. You can put all of your favorite things into a movie, and that doesn't mean that it's going to be good. I mean, look at the Michael Bay movies. Like, you got all this shit. You still have the Shredder. You still have Casey Jones. You still got Bebop and Rocksteady, and you still have Krang. But do people still give a shit about those movies? No.
I really didn't see the live-action the Michael Bay movies.
I can tell by you can just look at the rating and people didn't give a shit.
Well, it's Michael Bay. He's King Schlock.
Actually, how did this movie do? While you're doing this, just move on to Turtles Forever.
Going to Turtles Forever, we go back to our friend Wayne and his sidecast, Johnny Castro for Michelangelo 1987, and Bradford Cameron for Michelangelo Mirage.
So you're supposed to be us from other worlds. I don't see it.
Which, the only thing they have under their belts is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Forever.
Jack Diddley Squat.
But, honestly, Bradford Cameron did a pretty funny Michelangelo. I made a mistake last time. One of my favorite lines wasn't said by Donatello. So you're trying to be us from another world. I don't see it. That whole smug attitude came from Mikey, not from Donnie.
That's the line you like?
Yeah.
Oh, because I didn't like this Mikey at all.
I loved him. He was smug. He was snarky.
It's really too nasally. Yeah, all the Mikeys are smug and are smug.
Yeah, but
like
he had
that.
a real...
I mean, he sounded more like a Jewish grandma.
What are you doing out there? Yeah, what are you doing out there?
I don't see it. But
yeah, sure.
There are a lot,
those.
as a native New Yorker, there are a lot of nasally people here in this goddamn state.
But that doesn't mean that makes a good voice.
I mean, it's convincing that it's New York, and it's not
so bad. No, it's not. When you think of New York, I do not think of, I'm nasally.
Then you have not been to anywhere else in Queens. And again, no, you haven't. The more inward you go, the more nasally they sound. Again, because the Queens has a lot of historically Jewish neighborhoods and areas, and they tend to have very nasally voices. That's not me being an anti-Semite. That's just me making a statement about an observation based on the borough that I live in. A lot of people have nasally voices. Hell, I have a bit of a nasally voice, and I'm not Jewish.
I know. Well, I am, and I do. I hate my own nasally voice. Why would I like other people's nasally voices? Yeah. Oh, by the way, Michael Bay Turtles, 22%. The CGI TMNT is like 34 on Rotten Tomatoes. So, I think that the universe understands who the right one is. Although, granted, Out of the Shadows slightly passes it.
And to be fair, taste is subjective.
But it's good to have different tastes. Some are good and some are not.
Like sauerkraut on pizza.
Why am I arguing about this? I don't even like the 2007 movie.
Yeah, I somehow coaxed you into defending the 2007 movie.
You know how I am, though. I am extremely argumentative to a fault.
A big fault. Speaking of fault, 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We didn't talk about the 87 Michelangelo yet, though. From Turtles Forever.
That's just ooze. We fight old bucket breath over that stuff all the time. Score! Wow. No line. We'll take 4 large pizzas with sauerkraut, tuna fish, pretzels, and jelly beans.
Nothing really there about him.
I mean,
really nothing there.
I mean, he does the voice. It works. Works fine. It's slightly gruffer than Townsend Coleman, but...
It sounds like a watered-down Coleman, which kind of makes it a little better.
I mean, that's what I
a little softer in the voice, which is good, but still just very samey.
Exactly. That's what I expect, though. That's what I hope for. Like, I question why you like the Leonardo Dan Green from this movie because like, no matter what, like, I don't see this, like, obviously in the 87 versions who don't have their voice actors should try to imitate the original voice actors. And some of them do it good, and this is an alright example.
Yeah. Though he was a lot better as Rocksteady.
Alright, just like a big dumb guy.
Not better than the original, but still a very good Rocksteady. Sliding on into that next transition, we'll be doing the 2012, voiced by the legendary Greg Cipes.
Sorry, Leo. I'll scream quieter. Raphael is all wise and powerful, and he's better than me in every possible way. You move like a bloated buffalo. I wish this moment could last forever.
We all know.
This is my favorite.
You may all know him as Beast Boy from Teen Titans Go. Everyone's favorite.
Do you want me to go, or are you mentioning Teen Titans Go?
Teen Titans Go. Everyone's favorite.
I mean, I like it.
Are you saying go for me, or are you telling me to go and give my explanation, or are you saying Teen Titans Go?
Teen Titans Go. The show. You know.
Alright, I'll go. Greg Cipes, this is my favorite Michelangelo, hands down.
I could definitely see where you're coming from, and he's a very close second for me. He's also, I also love Greg Cipes because he's my favorite Ben 10 character. He's Kevin Levin. Kevin E. Levin.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No.
He's older
Kevin's
Kevin
voice...
from Alien Force.
Oh, alright.
You ding-dong. Also,
how was I supposed to know that?
Also, Chiro from Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. Another Go that he's a part of. Weird.
It is weird. The Greg Cipes just nails that childhood heart feeling that Michelangelo has. It's just the voice that I hear in my head. When I hear Greg Cipes as Michelangelo, I just think this makes perfect sense to me.
It does make perfect sense, really.
Just the quintessential surfer voice actor. Also, he just gets, like, I was really debating between the 2003 Michelangelo and the 2012 version, but the thing about it is that Wayne Grayson was perfect for a more adult version of the Turtles, where it's a little bit less kiddie. Like, there has to be a bit more gruffness in his voice. He got the surfer thing down, but it just works with his character design. Whereas Greg Cipes' voice, I see more consistently among all the Teen Mutant Ninja Turtles renditions. If you put Greg Cipes' voice on top of the 87 Turtles, I think I'd feel satisfied.
He would have been a better alternative than Johnny Castro.
But obviously he couldn't do that because like union rules, blah blah blah. And also Cipes is such a great guy. There was one time I went to a convention, waited for him in line, and I wanted to ask him about his relationship with the guy who directed the Ninja Turtles 2012 series, because this is the guy who also did Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go and worked on Teen Titans, just like a
bunch of stuff that we
from my
love.
childhood, and Greg Cipes is in all of his work. So I went up to Greg Cipes, like, asking about this guy and all of his projects, and then when I look up, I see that Greg Cipes' phone is up, and he's like, say all the stuff that you want again, I'm going to record it, put it on Instagram, and share it with him. And I'm like, holy fuck.
The man is totally into social media, which is a super boost to his career. But it's also natural for him to be such a way. He's just a very friendly guy. He's probably one of the best voice actors out there.
I agree to that. Now, moving on very briefly, in this very small blip of this podcast, since I felt the need to mention Johnny Knoxville last week, we have to talk about Michael Bay again. I haven't seen it yet. Will I see it? I don't fucking know. Noel Fisher is fine.
We were sent by the Supreme Leader to eat delicious humans and dip them in ranch dressing. I'm just kidding. I'm a vegan, except for meat and cheese and eggs.
They're at 36,000 feet traveling at 490 knots.
Whoa, they've achieved the power of flight. Good for them, you know?
They're on a plane, Mikey.
Huh.
Noel Fisher is just fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about live action movie versions of Michelangelo, I would rather go to Rist, but Noel Fisher does all right. There's some funny lines that I've heard from him, just like in that minute of just like the behind the voice actors comparison clip, like Donnie's like, the villains are traveling like 2,000 miles an hour. Michelangelo's like, whoa, they learned the power of flight. Good for them. No, fuck, they're on a plane, Mikey. I think that's really funny. Just the delivery, just the wide-eyed innocence is. He gets that. That line might make me want to watch those movies now.
I'm always down for a movie with you.
Absolutely. So, just giving some credit where it's due.
He's an okay Mikey.
Yeah.
Just okay to me, but okay is better than not good. Much better.
Yeah. There really aren't a lot of bad ones here, and we decided not to cheat and go for, like, the video games or anything.
Speaking of video games, I'm going to transition into the 2017 Jonan Vasquez skit, where he's played by Blake Anderson. Blake from Workaholics.
Well, you were in the bathroom, but Raph said that Donnie wouldn't need to waste his time inventing stuff to help him fight if he just focused on training more. And... Donnie disagreed, then said something clever, and, well, you know how Raph gets.
Are they dead? Is this a contest to see who could be the most dead?
I don't know. Are you guys dead?
Really good pick for Michelangelo. Like, he's by far, like, for the limited performance that he did give for the short, by damn, he got Mikey. Kind of the mocking Raph with the ultimate tuna can fight engine, and then he hit me in the head with his can.
I love that, because it is just, it's totally just like, this has happened before, and I'm just used to shit getting thrown in my head.
That and Blake Anderson, I hear, is a really, really nice guy. Well, then again, everyone from Workaholics is a really nice guy.
Yeah, because these are just guys who just came off the street and just made this show. I also really like that line where Raph and Donnie are on the floor, and Leo's like, are they dead? And Mikey's like, I don't know. Hey, are you guys dead?
So yeah, very good on you, Blake. Very good on you.
Though he's probably never going to see this. Senpai notice us.
Gonna go neck myself for that one. Ba-da-bop-ba-dop, dead.
Well, I hope he doesn't for the same reason why I don't want Mike Kelly to see this. I don't want to see a guy get pissed off for the stuff I say.
Okay, now going to getting pissed off things that I say. I didn't like Brandon Michael Smith as Mikey.
That's nice of you to say, Pop, but I'm tired of practicing. We got the squeals, we got the tight color coordinated team look. Yo, Leo, we're gonna be heroes. A dreamer. You look at a blank sheet and see nothing. They see possibility. Man, this seemed like a really cool idea until we didn't succeed at it.
Okay, in his defense, it's different. It's a little bit different.
I like different, but it grates the inside of my eardrums.
Really?
It really grates the inside of me.
Comparison to the nasally Bradford Cameron?
Yes.
Well, at least I know what my bad is for this week. Look, like, it's a little bit, like, I don't know. I already said that, like, this show isn't as bad as people say it is. There are some moments, and I don't know. The first Black Mikey, the first Black Mikey that matters, which is kind of cool. Yeah, fuck Turtles. I'm never watching that.
Ow.
Ow. You really hurt by who cares about Turtle Tunes? Really?
No, but there's better tact than that. Jesus Christ.
What, I'm racist for shitting on Turtle Tunes?
No, the way you went at it was like you were hate criming him or something.
I'm not.
Calm down there.
Alright, well, we both can be racist.
I'm not saying you're a racist.
Well, I'm going to be insulting something else, is that, I don't know, it's a bit different. Kind of sounds a bit more gay, a bit more feminine, a bit more fruity. Like, he's an artist, I guess. But it's just, I can just kind of hear that kind of just, like, splendiferous attitude. He's super upbeat, kind of cute, honestly, from what I've seen.
I didn't get past the second episode, but Mikey is a vocal character, so I got enough information and data to process for my opinion. I'm overall not impressed with his performance. I'm not saying he's bad, I'm just saying I'm overall not impressed.
See, I'm trying to at least, like, watch episodes that focus on the characters that we're trying to talk about, so that they have plenty of room for me to, like, hear what they do.
Implying Mikey doesn't already get his say in everything in every episode that he's in.
You make it sound like he's a bad guy or something.
Well, no, it's kind of his job to get out the one-liners. It's kind of his job to be interacted with the plot.
I mean, I don't hate Rise of the Turtles, but I can see why people hate it. It might be a bit too much to not like. Like, I just watched an episode with a character that I think is Karai, I don't know, and she's straight up autistic.
What?
Like, so the episode was essentially that Michelangelo goes on a solo mission to get a video game from an auction house, whereas two of the main villains has this woman with kind of a buzzed haircut with black hair who's a very skilled fighter, and she's like the kind of person who just like takes everything way too seriously and is kind of crazy. Like, she's still skillful, but it's just like skillful and determined to a fault. So I think, oh great, Karai's autistic now. Of course, that's what I say whenever I see someone who is autistic. I have Asperger's, so I'm allowed to say this. Speaking of judging people, who do you choose? Who's your best, who's your worst, and who's your weirdest?
Okay. The best. The best is tied, but one was part of a short. The other was part of a main meat and potatoes. It's got to be Rice. Rist.
Right.
Robbie Rist. Gotta go double R's. Worst, I'm gonna have to say Johnny Castro. And weirdest definitely goes to Townsend Coleman.
Really? The first one?
Yeah.
Wow,
Considering,
I was not expecting...
While I did have more experience with the 1980s, I had more experience with the 2003 and everything thereafter. So going back to Townsend's deeper voice, it's a little weird for me. Good start, great start, but still weird to go back to, so to say. You know?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Go.
For for me. And first of all, this was a lot tougher than Leonardo.
Mainly because Michelangelo is actually interesting and has a significant characteristic that's not petty.
Yeah, there's actually there's a good like level of quality among all of these guys. So I'm so glad that Bradford Cameron exists because he's the worst. Easily. Greg Cipes is the best, and the weirdest, I'm gonna give it to Brandon McCall Smith from Rise.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and if you'd like to see where we're gonna be coming from, join us next week when we work on Raphael. Check us out at facebook.com/thevoicecast. I hope I'm saying that right. I haven't seen it in a while. And we will see you next time.
Cowabunga,
Goodbye.
dudes.